Lots to talk about in the news today with Samsung, OnePlus Z news, and also Xiaomi are launching a bunch of new products. So let's get into the news. So we start with Samsung, and this is news that Samsung may actually be ditching their own display unit for making them smartphone displays. So we know that Samsung Display, that part of Samsung, makes some of the best OLED displays for smartphones. They are really the world leader in making OLED displays, small OLED displays, foldable OLED displays. And of course, Samsung Electronics, the arm of Samsung that actually make smartphones, will buy displays from Samsung Display, but that's not the case anymore. At least some of their OLED displays, they're thinking of using a different company called BOE, which is a Chinese factory, Chinese screen maker. And they're actually the leader in LCD displays, but they've been getting bigger and bigger in OLED and flexible OLED displays too. This also isn't going to be budget phones that they're making OLED displays for. These could be possibly going into flagship phones like the Galaxy S21 series, if that's what they're going to be called, and the A91 devices. They are really flagship phones for Samsung. So why on earth are Samsung ditching their own display unit and going over to BOE? Well, actually, there's a lot of reasons why. Firstly, there's just a big risk buying all of your displays from one supplier, even if that supplier is you. Actually, the risk is increased if anything goes wrong, if anything happens. It's also said that Samsung, by doing this, are actually creating competition in the industry overall, which should, overall, in general, actually reduce prices for OLED displays, which is always a good thing. And because Samsung Electronics is run as a separate business, they are actually still just looking for the best option, good quality displays at the best price. It's not just Samsung that are looking to do this though. BOE have now gotten to a stage where they can produce enough high quality displays to actually supply the big boys in a big amount of numbers. Beforehand, they could only produce a small amount of OLED displays, and so they couldn't be relied upon. But they've come into the mix now, and they can produce enough good quality OLED displays, so there's no reason why not to use them. This also frees up production at Samsung Display so that they can do different things. They want to concentrate on the real high-end screens like foldable displays, and also it frees up production for them to actually sell their displays to other companies like the BBK brands and Xiaomi and different smartphone companies, which they may actually get a higher price for the OLED displays selling it outside of the company. Also in Samsung news, do you remember those weird bean-shaped earbuds that leaked a while back that were apparently some new earbuds from Samsung, nicknamed Beans because, yeah, they look like kidney beans. Well, apparently these are a real thing and they're coming soon. So these are really odd, really strange, definitely a weird shape, but actually kind of really cool and definitely unique and interesting too. And I think a lot of people may actually go for these. The real name though, not Beans, although that would have been really fun. Apparently the real name is Galaxy Buds X. These are coming. They should be released in a few months' time, probably along with all the new products that Samsung are releasing with the Note launch, so the Note 20, the Fold 2, and these new Galaxy Buds X. In terms of what they give us, apparently there are two speakers on there, one that handles bassier sounds and one that handles trebles or highs. They also have a lot of microphones on there so that they can pick up what you're telling and you can interact with smart assistants through those. Just looking at them though, there's no silicone buds or anything that actually goes into the ear. So we don't know what the noise cancellation is like. Usually with silicone buds that actually pop into your ear, they act like a cork and so they block out the external noise physically, but these don't seem to have that. So we don't really know what the noise cancellation is like or anything like that for now. It is also noted that these are still in development right now and haven't been finalized, so the design might change a little bit between now and when we actually get them, but they should be launching in a few months' time, so watch out for them. We do have news on the OnePlus Z as well, or OnePlus Z if you're from the UK. This is a new phone from OnePlus. They've just launched the OnePlus 8 series and they're really great phones. A lot of people are saying they're very expensive. A lot of people want OnePlus to go back to their roots and make a sort of mid-range or upper mid-range phone again. That's what the OnePlus Z is. But according to a OnePlus leaker, Max J on Twitter, we now have the launch date and it is going to be in July. A lot of people are waiting for this phone because it's going to go back to the roots of OnePlus, So a good design. It's going to have a 90 Hz display because OnePlus have said that they'll only use 90 Hz displays as a base going forward. So 90 Hz display, it'll be OLED as well. You also have a centered cutout, which is a pretty cool design, matches a lot of Samsung phones. There are lots of leaks on the price that it could come at around £400 in the UK, 500 or so US dollars. So a lot of people interested in that device, and we now have the launch date July for that phone. So watch out for it and see what comes. And just to finish off with some Apple news, Apple have had a really tough time of it in a few different markets. China recently and India, where they've never really got a massive foothold because the Chinese brands just pumping phones out every week there. But looks like things are looking up for Apple in India at least. Apple in the last quarter have achieved a growth of 78%, so they're selling 78% more smartphones than they did in the same period last year, and that is a big growth for Apple. The overall market grew 4%. This is because of pricing promotions, so read into that discounts in the iPhone 11 series, which is something that Apple doesn't really do in Western markets anyway, but they have done it in India and China. They've been discounting their phones to sell more. They had a really good first quarter, but obviously this quarter is just going to be terrible for everyone for obvious reasons. Apple now apparently are a bigger player in the premium segment. They take up 55% of the market share in the premium segment, and this is thanks to basically just making their phones cheaper so more people want to buy them, discounting them online on Flipkart in India, which is like Amazon and Amazon as well. So they're taking up more market share by making cheaper phones. And is that going to come through to the iPhone 12 series? Probably not. We can hold our breath. Maybe we'll get some good prices this year. That's it for your tech news today. Subscribe to the other channel for some more videos as well, and I'll see you next time.